In this next fight, man, I mean, Mick Parkin versus Jamal Pogues. I had a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but I had a few people actually message me last week because I said that, like, I'm not a big fan of certain female fights. Like, I was talking about Aleem Perez versus Ashley Evans Smith. Like, fuck, man, I didn't realize Perez had so many fans. But people are, like, coming at me, like, saying, like, how could you not like female fights? It's like, bro, like, I like certain fights for sure. It's not about that. But it's the same thing with this one, man. Like, I'm gonna talk shit about this fight, too. Like, these heavyweight fights where it's, like the last one Jamal Pogues did versus Josh Parisian, I put this in the same kind of category. Low level heavyweight slot fest here. Mick Parkin making his UFC debut. He's taking on Jamal Pogues, and Parkin, he's the guy that's from London, or at least he's from the UK. I don't know exactly what city he was born in, but he trains with Aspinall and Phil DeFries and kind of that heavyweight crew that's over there. So obviously he's getting some good training in, and he's like a real sloppy poor man's version of Aspinall, I'd say. Like, he's fast, he has pretty good boxing, he likes to slip and rip, and then his grappling looks on point, but he doesn't have the same snap with his punches. He doesn't have the same punching speed, technique, or power, really. He likes to, slip way off and then throw that big hook, which I think that he could get head kicked by doing that, but obviously at heavyweight, it's like, I don't think Jamal Pogues is probably going to be likely to kick him in the head, but I guess we'll see. But Parkin, I've seen him, like, he has decent hand combos, but he sits in the pocket and he's right there to be hit and countered. I've seen him dropped, and I do feel like Pogues is the faster, more athletic guy. It's just Parkin brings that kind of workman, like serviceable striking, where it's like he's going to stay solid for 15 minutes, and Pogues is going to fight in bursts and try to conserve energy and then explode, and he'll get tired regardless. So Parkin will be more steady, but Pogues has the ability to maybe be more eye-catching and win enough minutes to steal a decision. But Parkin, his wrestling kind of sucks, I would say. Like, bad defensive wrestling, but he has good for a heavyweight. He'll throw up submissions off his back. He could hit sweeps. He can get back up to his feet. And I think he has better grappling than Pogues, especially if he can get on top. His top control is on point, and he's gotten some finishes from that top position. But Pogues probably has the better wrestling, I would say. And I've seen Parkin, like, pull guys on top of him and let guys mount him and just be really sloppy in some wrestling exchanges. So that's probably the weakest area, I would say, that he has. And we all know Pogues, the guy can wrestle pretty effectively. It's just if he takes down Parkin a couple times and Parkin, uses his, ability to stand back up to his feet or sweep, then is Pogues going to keep that cardio, or is Parkin going to take over and finish him at the tail end of the fight, or win a decision by squeaking those last 2 rounds? And I really don't have a strong opinion on this fight. I feel like Pogues, if he comes in shape and isn't really on point, he could honestly probably dominate the fight, maybe even get a KO finish. But the Pogues that we've been seeing lately, like the one that fought Parisian, it could be a real kind of close type of decision. And because it's in England and Parkin is going to be the fan favorite and all of that, I'm kind of leaning towards Parkin to get the job done in this one. I think Parkin's going to be the guy that's looking fresher down the stretch, tail end of the second and third, and he could even get a finish late. It's just Pogues is, pretty durable, and Parkin, to me, isn't that great. So I'm going to pick Parkin by decision in this one. Parkin hasn't fought in a while, and he's training with those guys over there. Like I said, Phil DeFries, who's a great grappler, and then Aspinall, who's obviously one of the best talents at heavyweight that we have today. So I'm going to pick Parkin by decision, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Pogues, if he shows up really on point, he'll probably win this one. But I'm going to go with Parkin, in England, in his home country. Pogues. I don't really trust him, even if this fight was in America. Now you're throwing in some travel and a crowd that's going to be booing him and things like that. So I'm just going to go with Parkin by decision here.